Thanks for coming in today, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the channel. Getting set up here for a Virtue Safe Flying Club event, chat. We're going to be flying, we're calling it Worcester Wednesday. It's while Boston's doing their Burlington event, so we're going from Burlington to Worcester, all in ZBW's airspace. I figured that's nice. Give them some traffic, get a flying club group flight in. Everybody's happy and healthy. So thanks for coming today. I'm happy you guys are here to join me for this flight this evening. I got the volume in the sim turned down because there's loud jet noises going on right now. Watch, if I turn off the volume. Oh, actually, never mind. It got quiet. Okay, we can live with this. This we can live with. The jet noises I was hearing earlier, we could not live with. This is fine. Everything's fine. So, welcome. We're going to fly Burlington to Worcester. We're going to do it in the BE24 Sierra. Haven't flown this thing in a while. We're at Heritage Aviation here. We got a little, I think it's freeware scenery for Burlington. So, we're at Heritage Aviation. We're going to get started up here in a bit. This is a Virtue Safe Flying Club event, so I am going to be doing a briefing. And that briefing will be starting in about 5 minutes. So hang tight with me. We'll get through the briefing with the Flying Club, and then we will enjoy ourselves on a nice little evening flight to Worcester. Now, the weather is a little bit weathery, not crazy. It's going to be a little bit marginal. You know, we got some overcast skies, we got some showers in the area. Everything's still VFR. The blue, even though it's marginal, is VFR. So we might have to do a little bit of scud running here and there is a little bit of mountainous terrain. So I've got a very specific route that I'm going to try and fly, at least on the front end, to get on this side of most of the mountains over here. It's mostly flat once we're to the east of this little range here. So that's what I'm going to plan to do, kind of get on the east side of that, and we'll just try to do our best to avoid the clouds. If it gets really bad, we could always pick up a pop-up IFR if we have to. Club members are going to have kind of the option of whether they want to do VFR or IFR since the weather is marginal. And we're going to have full ATC staffing all the way through here. We're going to have staffing up here in Burlington, obviously, because that's where Boston's doing the event. We'll have all the centers on for Boston, and then we'll have the staffing probably at Worcester, I would imagine, even if it's just covered by, I believe Worcester is covered by Providence Approach. It's covered by Bradley Approach. Or either way, Bradley Approach is online, so if they're covering Worcester, that covers us, even if there's not a specific tower online. So my plan is to, take off, get flight following, and kind of make my way down as best I can, maintaining VFR. And again, if we have to pick up pop by far, we'll have that option, and that'll make the Boston controllers work for us a little bit here. But that is the plan. We, like I said, are going to have the briefing with the Flying Club here momentarily. About 3 more minutes. Got members of the Flying Club starting to file in to the channel. You might hear their voices here in a little bit in the background as they start filing. So yeah, we'll wait for them to all start filing in, and then we'll get ready, and then we'll do this event. It is sort of kind of a group flight, but not really. It's kind of, we're going to, we're all departing Burlington. We're all arriving at Worcester. How we get there is going to be a little bit different, and I'll explain that. You guys will hear all that when I start doing the briefing with the club. You're not going to see the briefing material. I'm just going to leave my airplane on the screen while I'm doing the briefing. So you just listen along, and you'll kind of get the idea, and the club members should also kind of have an idea of what's going on. So, like I said, just a couple more minutes.
Hello.
Oh, we got someone load up right next to us. Very good.
Ready to check?
5 by 5.
So, what are we gonna talk about in the briefing?
The briefing, which will start in about a minute here, a minute and a half. Talk about what we're doing. Talk about the weather. Just the basic stuff to watch out for during the event is essentially what we're gonna do for the briefing.
One of my friends, I saw the meter shows that overcast is at 8,000 feet, but the weather shows like less than that, innit?
Yep, we'll talk all about that here in a second.
Okay, cool.
It's a lengthy flight you're doing, Brandon. More power to you. Alright, hang with me, chat, like I said, while I go through this briefing. Alright, I show 7 o'clock on the East Coast, so we'll get this briefing started. Thank you for coming in today, everybody. Welcome to Worcester Wednesday, which is our own little name for the event. Boston ARTCC is doing the event actually here in Burlington, where we're departing from tonight. So we should have a full slate of ATC out of Burlington, and we should have ATC all the way down to Worcester. If there isn't a specific Worcester tower online, Bradley Approach does cover Worcester. So just keep that in mind, since it is a Class Delta field. Now, however you guys want to get down to Worcester tonight from Burlington is up to you. So it's not like a true group flight where we're all following the same path. We're just all departing and arriving at the same, destination, departure airport, destination airport. It is possible to do the flight VFR tonight. Right now, everything is either marginal or VFR. Looking at Sky Vector, I see green mostly, some blue. That blue meaning marginal. It is a little tight. I will admit that marginal is definitely not the best kind of VFR flying, but the idea is that it is VFR. I'm actually going to attempt to do this VFR myself, but if you want to do it IFR, that's fine too. Both options are available. If you are planning to do the flight IFR, there is a specific route that you need to follow. It is a tech route. Excuse me, I apologize. There is a tech route that you need to follow. It's muddy, Tango 315 Spino, and that is a cruise altitude of 10,000 feet on that tech route. That is very specific. That is the route that you do have to fly if you're planning to fly IFR. And again, if you're VFR, just don't crash, essentially, and maintain VFR. You want to make sure you avoid the clouds. But like I said, right now the weather is VFR in Burlington broken 4,600, so it's not super high VFR. Looking on the way down, you got a couple places that are a little bit higher, a couple places that are maybe a little bit lower. I see overcast 2,600 at Rutland, for example. Overcast 3,000 at North Adams. At Worcester, it's scattered 4,600, broken 7,000. Even the forecast says that it's only going to go broken to 3,500 until late this evening. So again, it should stay VFR or marginal VFR the whole way if you want to do it that way. The big thing you want to keep in mind in terms of just a path, first you want to avoid the restricted area that's just outside of the Class Charlie of Burlington, which is restricted 6501 Alpha and Bravo if you're looking at your sectional chart. It's just to the east, literally attached essentially to the edge of that little cutout of the Charlie there that they made for the restricted area. But there is obviously, of course, a little bit of a mountain range that you want to pay attention to if you're going initially eastbound. And one of the higher points on that mountain range is looking at the sectional 4088. So just keep that in mind for your planning if you are going a VFR. If you go a little bit more west, there is some even higher mountain ranges out there, like Mount Marcy to the west, if you were going to go that direction first before cutting back in to Worcester. But again, if you're going VFR, the route is kind of up to you. If you're going IFR, you have no choice. You get one route, and that's muddy, the Tango 315 Spino at 10,000 feet. That is a tech route. That's the route that they're going to give you for the event tonight. Hopefully you guys read through the briefing, because that's really all I got for you in terms of the specifics. There's no specific order in which we need to depart because, like I said, it's not a true group flight. It is kind of, although we're all going from one destination or one departure airport to one destination airport, we're not doing it in any specific route or specific order. So there's no, I don't need to lead the pack or anything like that. We don't need to worry about who's faster, who's slower. The only thing that I do ask of everyone is to file a flight plan, whether it's VFR or IFR, it doesn't matter. File the flight plan. It kind of can help the controllers, especially the Class Charlie here on the front end, just kind of have an idea. And the VFR flight plan doesn't really show up, but your remarks will, and that's what we want to see. We want to see the remarks, let them know that you're flying the event with the Virtues Day Flying Club. It's good advertisement for us. It also lets the controllers know, hey, here's part of the club that's doing the flight, because we did alert Boston that we would be doing this group flight. So that's kind of the reason why even when we are doing VFR, we still ask you to file during events. Obviously, IFR, you do have to file the IFR flight plan if you're planning to do it that way. Make sure you've got the airport spelled correctly. It's Kilo Bravo Tango Victor for Burlington and Kilo Oscar Romeo Hotel for Worcester. So just make sure to double check your flight plans that you have that filed correctly on both ends when you do so. And again, we have full slate ATC. You got delivery, ground, tower, approach and departure out of Burlington. Boston Center has got a few different ones. And you got Bradley approach, which would cover Worcester if there's no specific Worcester tower. And that's kind of the whole idea of us doing this group flight, is we're giving some supplemental traffic to Boston's event in Burlington this evening. I figured a fly out would be better because they're probably going to have a crap ton of people flying in. And this is a good way to supplement in the kind of on the reverse end of that. So if there are any specific questions, feel free to let me know. Actually, 1 second before that, don't forget, once you finish flying, make sure to mark yourself for attendance in the Worcester Wednesday temporary attendance channel. And for the guys that posted in there ahead of time, I apologize. I was not specific enough with my wording. I should have said, all we ask for attendance is even your call sign and time of arrival in Zulu after you complete your flight and landing. I'll make sure to put that in more specifically in the future, and that's usually how we do it. We usually wait until after we're done flying, we've landed, so that way we know exactly what our Zulu time was that we landed, and we know that the flight was actually completed, so we can log appropriate attendance, because there are times where people start up but then can't finish, and we want to make sure we're logging our attendance properly, just for statistical keeping. Excuse me. I don't know how to speak tonight, apparently. So for the 3 guys that did it already, don't worry about it. You don't have to change it tonight. You don't have to delete it and post later. Just in the future, remember that for all of our events, we wait until after we land to post for the attendance. And that is now all I have, if anybody has any questions. Alright, I think we're good to go then. Like I said, there is no specific order in which we need to depart. Once you're ready to go and fired up, again, talk to the appropriate air traffic control. Because this is a Class Charlie, everyone does need to start with delivery. Even if you're VFR, because it's Class Charlie, you still need to talk to Burlington Delivery first. Let them know what direction you're going VFR. And if you're IFR, obviously, you need to start with them anyway. And then work your way through. Again, be kind to ATC, be respectful. They're going to probably be pretty busy since this is a Boston event that's going on tonight. So make sure you be patient with that. And be patient if there's a little bit of a line for departure as well. And again, if nobody has any other questions, let's all have fun. Thanks for coming in today. I'll see you in Worcester.
Thanks, Chris.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Iowa Scotsman, thank you for 16 months. Kenny Monster, Boozy Sheep, thank you for coming in. I apologize while I was doing the briefing.
Thanks for the beautiful briefing.
Absolutely. I was, obviously focused with the briefing. So again, Iowa Scotsman, thank you so much, and gentlemen, thanks for coming in today. Let's go ahead and get our airplane started. How about that? I think we've been looking at the airplane for long enough. Now it's time to start getting things moving here. The Mosquito Pilot, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Let me make sure. Make sure everything's good here first before we just crank our way. Okay, good. I think we're good here. Alright, very good. Alright, let me put that away. We're going to open this guy up. We're going to clear to our right, clear to our left, clear prop. Actually, probably going to need to turn the fuel on first. And now, the airplane should probably start. Let's do that. Should probably also have my beacon and nav lights on. And actually, I remember, for whatever reason, my doesn't like when I use the switches on my Bravo yoke for these ones, so I'm going to do it manually like I just did. Alright, clear left, clear right, clear prop.
At this point, do we disconnect from the Discord or do we stay on?
That is entirely up to you. You can hang around on the Discord if you want. If there are changes, let's say something happens with ATC or there's a massive change in the weather for whatever reason, we'll usually discuss it in here. So if you want to stick around in case that information comes through, that's up to you. But if you prefer to leave the Discord and just do the flight, that's fine too. It's entirely up to you.
Okay, thanks. I just wasn't sure when I switched back to the sim if this went off on its own.
And just the big thing is to make sure, and that's the reason why we make sure that this channel is push-to-talk only. Just make sure your push-to-talk for your comms in the sim is different than your push-to-talk here in the Discord.
Okay, copy that. That's the way I set it up. Thanks.
Yeah, but Bob, your answer is no, you don't get disconnected from Discord. That's up to you.
Alright,
Well,
alrighty.
thank you, Jeffrey. Good to hear you.
We're going to put in, again, Worcester into the GPS here, and that's just going to be for reference, though, because we have kind of an idea already of what kind of routing we want to do. And I'm going to pull that up again on SkyVector here before we get moving to show you guys kind of what my plan is. And again, the plan could change depending on the terrain and the weather. And, you know, if at the end of the day we need to pop up an IFR, that's something that this aircraft is capable of doing, so we could always do that as well. So I'm going to take off out of Burlington here. I'm going to try and get them to let me go along I-89 here to the southeast, So I can cut kind of this little thing right here, avoid the mountain ranges. This little, almost like a little pass here, right near, going towards like the Waterbury Towers, if you will. And then we'll kind of shoot down this highway right here. We're going to loosely follow it to the south. We're going to loosely kind of get our way towards like the Lebanon Airport. We'll try and stay above or around the Class Delta. We might not be able to go into the Class Delta depending on the ceiling, so we'll probably stay around it. Kind of try and find the Connecticut River here, and that again, we'll loosely kind of follow that till we get to the, I'm not even going to try and say this, the Quabbin Reservoir. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Get to the Quabbin Reservoir and then kind of shoot over from there into Worcester. And that's, like I said, it's all loose plan. A lot of it's going to depend on where the ceilings are, the terrain, all that stuff. We'll kind of work it as we need to. Got the GPS in the backup just in case so we don't get fully lost. And that is what I plan to do. So let me go ahead and get myself over to clearance. This is a Class Charlie, so we do need to start with clearance frequency first.
121.1, squawk 0055, to the 573.
573, correct, contact ground 26.3. Good.
Burlington clearance, this is Beechcraft 0124 Mike Charlie. We're going to like to depart the Class Charlie VFR to the southeast with flight following.
124 Mike Charlie, Burlington clearance. Say altitude and do you have a destination?
Yeah, we're going to be VFR to Worcester, Kilo Oscar Romeo Hotel. We're going to start out at 3,500.
Charlie, departures 1211, squawk 4776.
Departure frequency 1211 and 4776 for Sierra 124 Mike Charlie.
Mike Charlie, correct, contact ground 26.3 for tanks. Good.
Thank you, have a good
one. Clear, start one.
Yeah, they probably don't have it correctly because it's blank, so it's not working.
Flight flying to the east for the 500.
Winds 2305. I gotta assume that they're using 15 for departure, which means it's probably gonna be the long taxi from the GA ramp
That
here.
one, that was 500. 3500. One departure 111.
145 Alpha Juliet, hold position. Looks like you've missed the turn on the Gulf there. Air 145 Alpha Juliet, looks to be turned around now. I believe we put any of this up right after you called for taxi. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, unfortunately. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I didn't know.
No worries. Thanks for the heads up.
Yep.
And ground, this is Sierra 124 Mike Charlie out of Heritage. We are ready to taxi. Negative on the ATIS. If you got it put up, it's not working properly.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, Burlington ground to Roger. I'll let the controller has the ATIS up now. And did you call clearance, or are you just looking for a VFR departure?
Yep, we call clearance with the VFR flight following to the southeast. We've got the squawk code 4776, and we are ready to taxi.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, runway 15, taxi via Charlie Golf, cross runway 19.
Runway 15, Charlie Golf, cross runway 19 for Sierra 124 Mike Charlie. Alright, so this is an interesting thing we're going to come out to in this scenery chat. Is you can see that Gulf is not fully complete in this scenery. This is like a little dirt strip that's supposed to be a taxiway. But we're going to do it because the airplane should take it. It shouldn't give us a crash or anything. So we make the right turn here, the left turn on what should be taxiway Golf, and that'll take us over to runway 15. So that's just that's a simism right there, if we ever saw one. I gotta close this guy up. It's definitely that's a rough simism, but yeah. Had a question on the briefing, but my mic wasn't working. Is there a reference to the IFR route? Yes, in the briefing. You can find it, but otherwise, yes, it's the preferred route. So you could go to the FAA preferred route database, and it would give you this tech route. That's just, but you should You know, I think there is reference in Boston ARTC's website somewhere probably to get to that preferred route database to fly on prawn. I know that New York has a specific preferred route database as well, link, but that route that I put in the briefing is the specific route for at least Burlington to Worcester.
Ground Cherokee 69 Alpha Papa, we're at General Aviation with the weather down near, we're near 33.
And again, this is supposed to be a taxiway, but...
November 69 Alpha Papa, we're departing 15 in a traffic for that runway, so unfortunately I will not be able to have you depart runway 33.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. We're ready for taxi.
Right, number 69 Alpha Papa, runway 15, taxi via Charlie Golf Cross 19.
A little bit of, again, a little bit the simism here.
15 Charlie Golf Cross 19, Cherokee 69 Alpha Papa.
But we're back where we're still technically where we're supposed to be here.
145, Alpha Juliet, we good to go over the tower?
Straight shot over on Golf. It was just a weird simism.
118.3.
Over to tower point 3, have a good night, we'll see you.
Special aircraft to Burlington, Burlington, ATIS information, Echo now current, Burlington on Twitter, 2988.
Now the ATIS is working, and it is ATIS Echo, 2988. It's so funny that that taxiway is just not there. It's such a weird little simism. Put the headset on. I just realized it is loud in here for no reason. Now we got the headset on. Listen to how nice and quiet it is. That's great.
And ground Cherokee is at 612 Atlantic for taxi.
Guess I should probably have
Last Cherokee aircraft calling, say again?
my taxi light on, right? Well,
Command GH of 6 Bravo on the ground at Atlantic ready for taxi.
probably would help, right?
Cherokee 876 Bravo, runway 15, taxi via Charlie, runway 1, Golf.
Got an aircraft on final there.
Runway 15 via Charlie, runway 1 and Golf station.
Got a United landing.
November 124 Mike Charlie, tower 1, monitor tower 118.3.
18-3 for 4 Mike Charlie, good night. And again, for those who don't know, I switched my frequency using this over here. It's just easier for me than this over here. Or that's an Atlas Air, not a Velo. That's a big cargo boy over there. Alright, we can do a run-up while we're waiting, I guess. Check the mags.
United 737, turn right on Charlie, contact
Mags
ground,
are good. Check the prop.
Right on Charlie, contact ground, 9737.
Props are good. Excellent. I don't know if I'll be on New York approach or not tomorrow morning. That's to be determined.
November 145 Alpha Juliet, winds 240 S5, fly runway hey, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
And we'll fly runway heading and clear for takeoff, runway 15, Mooney 145
I go back to work on Friday finally. I haven't touched the real airplane since March. Didn't get called in at all in reserve on April. I have a set schedule in May. I just finished recurrent on Monday, so my landings are current. But it'll be nice to get back in the actual airplane on Friday, even with the mess that
Start 1,
Newark
you're
is
leaving
right
my
now.
airspace, the radio service will terminate, because you changed route, squawk VFR, have a good flight.
We have flight calling for Dart 1.
Dart 1, roger that. You can contact departure on...
I will set the departure frequency now. 21.1, just have it ready. Right there. I need to adjust the volume. All the aircraft have like a different noise level in the sim, so I always have to adjust the sim volume for one over the other. It's just kind of the way it is. You see, there's definitely some clouds, overcast, a little bit of a broken layer there. We're not going to go on top, though. We're going to stay VFR below the clouds. Some mountains that we're going to have to avoid. It's going to be, you know, pick here or there and see, make sure we maintain VFR. And it's getting into nighttime as well, which will add a little wrinkle as well, you know. Once it starts to get darker, it's going to be a little bit harder to see both the terrain and the clouds. So we got a good one in store tonight. Let's see if I still know how to fly on a plane.
Mike Charlie, Burlington Tower, winds 240 at 5, fly runway heading, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading 15, clear for takeoff, Sierra 12 for Mike Charlie. It's time to go flying, chat.
Number 145 Alpha Juliet, you can contact departure on 121.1.
And number 145 Alpha Juliet from over to departure at 125.1. Have a nice day.
5 Alpha Juliet, it's 121.1 for departure.
Alright, we're up, and away. Can retract the gear. I'm going to throw the autopilot on, yaw damper on.
Air 124 Mike Charlie, you can contact departure on 121.1.
21-1 for Mike Charlie, see ya.
November 985 Quebec.
Yeah, that's fine. You can proceed on course southbound.
Departure, good evening. Sierra 124 Mike Charlie is VFR climbing 1,400.
November 124 Mike Charlie, Burlington departure, radar contact. Yeah, for Mike Charlie, you can proceed on course. Traffic's 12 o'clock, 3 miles southbound out of 3300s of Mooney.
Alright, we're looking for traffic. We're proceeding on course for Beechcraft Sierra 124 Mike Charlie. On course it is.
124 Mike Charlie, I'm sorry. What'd you say your aircraft type was?
It's a Beechcraft Sierra BE24.
Oh yeah, that's not even close to what they had in here. Alright, I'll update that.
Thank you.
American 4351, contact approach 124.
We're in the air.
2455 American 4351, thanks.
And we've got
Start
this
1 2 touches.
little valley right in front of us again. We're on a, like a 129 heading to go through this valley.
Okay, are you going to go any further west?
Exactly where we want to be.
Or what's the plan?
Split this little mountain ranges over here. Follow the highway. Get on the east side of them, and then we're pretty much flat land pretty much there
Got
after.
one, Roger.
In other words, stay near your fifth.
Yeah, no, that's, yep, I got that.
Climb at 3,500 feet. This airplane's not super fast, so it's going to probably be about an hour and a half flight, roughly, to get to Worcester. Maybe a little less.
Burlington departure, good evening, Skype number 908, Quebec, 1,100, climbing 9,000, runway heading.
Got a whole group of helicopters, it looks like, just to the
Quebec, Burlington departure,
south of the field, about 10-15 miles to the south and slightly west over the lake.
Alpha Juliet, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
November 145 Alpha Juliet.
Number 1400, yeah, second.
Yep, November 145 Alpha Juliet. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
That was Squawk VFR and frequency change approved. Have a good night, Lieutenant.
Good day.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and switch to cruise here. Do about 2400 RPM. And we'll do about 24 on the manifold as well.
And November 124 Mike Charlie, just the paperwork got kind of confused here. Are you looking for advisories today or no?
Yeah, we'd like to take flight following all day down to Worcester, please.
Alright, you got it.
Burlington approach United 3455, 14,000, descending 11,000.
United 3455, Burlington approach, hello. Fly heading 010, it's vectors ILS for my 15 approach, descend and maintain 10,000.
Heading 010 and descend down to 10,000, United 3455.
JetBlue 1900, we're 19 heading 2.1 for 10.
JetBlue 1900, Burlington departure, radar contact, proceed. Actually, I'll have that for you in a minute.
Alright, we'll stand by.
Actually, JetBlue 1900, when you're able, what will the on-course heading to Squam be?
We're looking now, stand by, let's get to the spot.
Alright.
We're cruising.
Dart 1, traffic 2 o'clock, 6 miles eastbound, 3,500.
A little bit of rain out in front of us, but rain is fine as long as we're below the clouds.
Dart 1, we're going for the traffic.
United 3455, descend now to 10,000.
Open up
Pilot's discretion, maintain
this guy off screen. Just help me to find traffic, since sometimes in this sim it's difficult.
Descend pilot discretion 4,000, United 34.
We're gonna fly through this valley again. A little bit of rain's not gonna heal us. We're still VFR even if we fly through rain, as long as we have the visibility and stay clear of the actual clouds themselves. So that should be fine.
That's what we're showing on that map. Oh, it's opposite. I forgot that's give me 1 second.
Okay, now if it's just southeastbound, that's fine. I can work with that. Don't worry about it.
Copy.
Looks like we got a pretty good handful of flying club members that are going to be departing out of Burlington this evening, going over to Worcester. Count at least, I think, 10 or 11 so far. $10 so far.
JetBlue 1900, clear X Squam, thanks for your help.
Direct Squam, thank you, JetBlue 1900.
November 985 Quebec, I'll have a turn for you in just a moment, just trying to get some jet departures to outclimb you here.
No worries, 8 Quebec.
United 3455, contact approach 124.55, have a nice evening.
So again, we're not going directly to Worcester. We're going to kind of fly. First, we want to clear kind of these mountains here, obviously, that we're lower than.
Contact Boston Center 12.
We got this little bit of rain that we're going to fly through, but again, that's not going to be an issue because we'll be able to maintain VFR.
Berlin departure, Giant 318 is climbing 6,000 for 10,000, heading 190.
Giant 318, Burlington departure, hello, radar
nice
contact.
View with the mountain right there.
And I'll have a turn for you
and right over here on our left.
Roger, for 318.
November 985 Quebec, you can proceed on course direct Lebanon.
Proceed on course direct Lebanon, 985, thank you.
November 124 Mike Charlie, connect Boston Center 123.75, have a nice day.
2375 for Mike Charlie AC, Creek Corps.
See you, bud.
Boston Center, good evening. This is Beechcraft Sierra 124 Mike Charlie VFR 3500.
124 Mike Charlie, Boston Center, roger. And for Mike Charlie, Mount Washington altimeter is 2988.
2988, thanks. Alright, so now that we're kind of clear of this mountain range here, chat, we'll be able to fly a little bit more southbound instead of eastbound here. We're gonna fly over this airport right here. Is I want to say it's Montpelier, but I am not familiar with how to actually pronounce it. I need a New Hampshire right in here to tell me how to pronounce that right, but I think it's Montpelier or Montplier. We're going to fly, that's that airport right there. We'll fly kind of over that, and once we get towards that airport, we'll be able to fly a little bit more south. And again, we're going to be loosely following a road that's going to then help us loosely follow the Connecticut River. Can't remember if it's Montpelier or Montplier. I need my buddy Ed, the New Hampshire expert. And again, for those of you who may not know, this is a virtual USA Flying Club event. Worcester Wednesday. We're doing this during the Boston event. You can see the little graphic there. If you're not already a member of the Virtual USA Flying Club, you should consider joining us.
I know it's a bad time, but we really need a 5 minute delay for JetBlue 9600. Can you help us out?
JetBlue 9, can I have 5 minutes max before we advise back?
I will be back soon. Thank you.
Boston Center, good evening, Giant 318 with you, 10,000 direct Viper.
Giant 318 Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level 210.
Climb maintain 210, Giant 318.
So this road, I think, is the road we want to keep following. There's one that kind of loops past the airport and going down that way, so we'll kind of cut the corner here. And that's, again, we're going to loosely follow this, at least until we get closer to the Connecticut River, and then we'll loosely follow that.
Boston Center, you got 349, 30 Southwest Syracuse, level 350.
Yeah, 349 Boston Center, hello, red contact position as reported, maintain, flight level 350.
350, United 349.
Bryn. It's another ZMY controller. He always has the same exact tone of voice, no matter what he's doing. Oh, we love him. Let's see, what's got the good views? That's a good view. We'll hold that view for a little while here.
Center,
JetBlue 900, thanks.
Beautiful and green up in this part of New Hampshire for sure. This New Hampshire, Vermont, this whole area is very nice. Back out the front, make sure I'm still going where I want to go. Again, we're just loosely following this road down to the south for now. Eventually we'll find the Connecticut River.
American 44, cross
and loosely follow that.
Maintain 1000, the Burlington altimeter is 2988.
1000, altimeter 29. Okay, Delta American 44.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
It's Corrupt 9. Thanks for coming in today. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you very much. Welcome aboard. Flying down to Worcester. Just took off out of Burlington.
Flight check.
2. Boston Center, Warrior 2893, Charlie on the ground. It's Lebanon looking to pick up our IFR to Burlington.
Rob, he's told you to monitor, so wait for him to call you. The guy in front of
Two.
you. First. That's
3. November 2893 Charlie Boston Center Hall cleared to Burlington Airport as filed. Maintain 8000.
Understood.
Frequency squawk 0044.
Clear to Burlington as file class. Climb maintain 8000. Departure with you. Squawk 0044.
Can't win them all, Kenny Monster.
2893.
That's 2893 Charlie, right back correct.
How far in the
You wanna
flight?
go,
I'm not super far in the flight. I'm only over, was it Montpelier? So not super far. I'm really only about like 20 minutes away from Burlington on the way down to Worcester.
Just let me know when you're
Because
ready.
there's the Montpelier Airport. Montpelier, I have no idea how to say it. There's that airport. So not super far into the flight. So if we look at our sectional, we're pretty much like right about here. So I've really only gotten like 15-20 miles away from
Boston Center, good evening, Scout number 9.
Burlington.
Quebec 8,800, climbing 9,000.
United 1610, cross crank, at a maintain 7,000, student altimeter 2996. United 1610, Boston Center.
in front of the flight. Okay, nice.
United Airlines 1610, going to Newark. Boston Center, are you here? Yep, I'm good, sorry about that. United 1610, cross crank, at a maintain 7,000, student altimeter 2996. Cross crank at 7,000. November 985 Quebec, Boston.
Oh, you are 145 Juliet. Very good. Yes. You're a little bit further ahead of me. You took off before me. I'm on my way down, heading a little bit southbound now along this highway here,
600 flight, Boston Center, roger.
which will then kind of eventually lead me towards Lebanon and the Connecticut River.
Charlie is ready to taxi and we'd like runway 18.
Number 289, Charlie, runway 18, taxi via Alpha, Bravo 2, Bravo, cross runway 7.
Runway 18 via Alpha, Bravo 2, Bravo, cross runway 17 on Alpha. Warrior 93 Charlie.
Looks like there's a pretty good amount of traffic. Again, pretty decent amount of flying club traffic going down to Worcester this evening. Just the way we drew it up. Just the way we drew it up.
United 349, descend at pilot's discretion to maintain flight level 240.
Pilot's discretion 240, United 349.
Again, we're loosely following this highway. You can kind of see it zigging and zagging. Going down to the south here. Slightly southwest even along, actually. But that'll kind of lead us again towards Lebanon and then the Connecticut River, which we will then loosely follow.
KORH 549, Boston Center, hello. The Mount Washington altimeter is 2988.
Thank you, sir. KORH 549.
Adding our little bit of GA flair to the event this evening out of the Burlington Charlie that Boston's doing.
Yeah, leave my airspace, New York Center.
Flying at 4,000, I'm at 3,500 right now. And the weather is, like I said, pretty good. It's going to be hit or miss on the way down, but right now we're plenty good on the VFR. That is a nice shot right there.
November 396 Charlie Tango, cross crank, maintain 7,000.
Give you a little airplane noise ASMR as well.
JetBlue 1900, contact Boston Center 133.45. 1345. Yeah.
The sim still got it. I see no reason to switch to 2024 yet when this sim still got it.
G6 on off top of 3,500.
It's just my opinion.
Number 69 Alpha Papa, Boston Center, Lebanon, altimeter 2989.
Papa.
American 44, contact Montreal 132.85, 3285. American 44, contact Montreal 132.85.
Contact Montreal 132.85 American 44 heading below.
Yeah, Burlington looks like it's going to stay nice and busy, which is good, and we are helping, contributing with some good old Virtue Safe Flying Club flying
fly runway heading,
to the south.
Runway 18 clear for takeoff.
And out.
Runway heading, runway 18 clear for takeoff. Warrior 93 Charlie.
Nope. Nope. I hate when it glitches like that sometimes. It follows my mouse without me wanting it to. A lot of greenery up in this part of the northeast here, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Very beautiful area.
United 1610, contact New York approach 128.55.
Give me 1 second, Chad. I gotta do something off
Boston
screen.
Center, November 4726 Tango, requesting 5 minutes away.
Keep loosely following the highway.
Who wants to step away for 5 minutes?
Fort November 4726 Tango.
4726 Tango, 5 minutes approved, report back.
Boston Center, Clipper 573 is with you, 6,600 for 9,000.
Clipper 573, Boston Center, roger. The
Got 11 aircraft inbound to Worcester right now. All flying club.
2988, we'll call you back, we should be Concord.
Again, just the way we like it.
Boston Center, Warrior 2893 Charlie 1,700, climbing 8,000.
November 2893 Charlie, red
And if we look at VATSIM, you can see some of the different ways that we're going about it. We've got this gentleman right here. He's over a little bit further to the east than I am. There's me right there. You got a flying club member that looks like he's going straight shot.
Leaving 5,000, clear direct.
Another flying club member looks like he's going straight shot.
5,000, clear direct Montpelier.
And then a couple more that have just departed, not sure what their kind of plan is yet. But again, although the departure airport and destination airport are the same for the group flight tonight, we're not all following the same path. We are all flying kind of our individual way to get down to Worcester this evening.
Boston Center, Dart 1.
Aircraft calling second.
Boston Center, Dart 1.
Dart 1, Boston Center.
Hey, we're over in Morrisville at 1,000 feet, looking for VFR westbound back towards Burlington.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
You're welcome, buddy. You did great.
Dart 1 squawk 7306.
7306, Dart 1.
Looking good. We should probably change up the fuel tanks here, so I'm going to do that. I also don't need the fuel boost pump on. I realize now that I've had that on the whole time, so we'll turn that off. Don't need that. We'll even out the fuel tanks now. We're still looking good in terms of the burn. Only doing about 12 gallons per hour, which is not bad at all.
Endeavor 55. 5393.
So we are coming up on the
altimeter 2988.
Lebanon Class Delta here, but the weather's fine, so we don't need to worry about being in the actual Class Delta. The Class Delta for Lebanon is 3,100 is the top, so at 3,500 we're above the Class Delta, and that's not something that we're going to need to concern ourselves with too much. You can see the highway is kind of pointing towards that way now. If we look, Lebanon's going to be out over here somewhere. I don't think it's that deeper field, but somewhere out over here. Maybe it is. Actually, it could be. We might be that far away from it. But either way, we're going to kind of follow the highway that's going to come down around here. And then you can see that's going to kind of join up eventually with the Connecticut River going south. And that's what we're looking for right now. So I'm going to make a nice little turn here.
Bravo cruising 3,500 VFR, flight following. Going to include a request to go up to 4,500, please.
November 876 Bravo, Boston Center, the Lebanon altimeter 2989er, maintain appropriate VFR altitudes and altitude discretion.
For maintain 6 Bravo.
A little bit of, again, potentially some rain that we might fly through here, but we can see all through it. We're going to stay below the clouds, so it keeps us perfectly and legally VFR. Just because you're in some rain doesn't mean you're not VFR, technically. Done it before.
November 6 Charlie Tango, contact Newark approach 128.55.
Overcast 4,200 is what Lebanon's saying, so we'll be fine at 3,500 feet. 700 feet below the clouds, we only need to be 500 feet below the clouds. Perfect. Just what we want to be VFR. And again, we're going to get through a little bit of rain here, but this isn't cloud, this is just rain, and we can still see through it with at least 3 miles, so we are maintaining VFR. See all the way to the Lebanon airport still. That's probably at least another 10-15 miles. 10-15 minutes out.
Alright.
Or 15 minutes. 10-15 miles out. So yeah, it's perfectly VFR even with a little bit of rain that we're going to get passing along here on the windscreen. Get a nice free bug wash for the airplane. And the temperature, we should probably look at the outside temperature just to make sure.
121.1.
We'll contact Princess on 121.131.
Outside air temperature 10 degrees Celsius. So we're like right on the cusp. Anything 10 degrees Celsius or less, you might get some icing, but a good chance that we're not going to pick up any icing at this time with it being 9 degrees Celsius.
Endeavor 5393, contact Burlington approach on 121.1.
121.1, Endeavor 5393, okay.
A little cold and misty. Again, we're like right on the cusp. What I could do just for safety, and we probably don't even need to, but I'll do it just for safety, is I'll turn the pitot heat on just for safety.
Maintain 7,02988 from November 4726 Tango.
And again, we're probably don't even need it, and we're already kind of through that little band of rain.
396 Charlie Tango, contact.
Got our free bug wash, so we can actually turn that back off. Don't need that.
Now looks like that's all it is. Thanks, Giant 318 cross wiper at maintain 1000. The Providence altimeter is going to be 2993.
And again, at this altitude, we're going to be above the Lebanon class Delta.
11,000, Giant 318.
So we're good on that
Giant
end.
349 contact Burlington approach on 124.55.
2455 into 349. Good night.
Still no tower at Worcester, but Bradley approach is on, and they've got an ATIS up for Worcester. So Bradley approach is going to handle us into Worcester, it sounds like, this evening.
Romeo Whiskey, Red, Orange, 407 Romeo Whiskey, you at 5,000. Sorry about that.
407 Romeo Whiskey, Boston Center, Lebanon altimeter 2989er. November 26 Tango. Looks like you're still climbing there. Just need to verify you're able to maintain 7,000 before I send you over to the event approach control.
My bad, descending to 7,000, 4726 Tango. Sorry.
Reach 69 to set at pilot's discretion to maintain level 240.
PD to 240, reach 69 flight.
Center Clipper 573 is receiving a Concord VOR.
Clipper 573.
Just give ourselves some more airplane ASMR, shall we? I don't know, right from the tail. I think that's a good shot. And that's the Lebanon airport right there, which we will be above the Delta at 3,500.
November 2459 Yankee Boston Center, hello, the 11 and altimeter 2989er.
Look at that blue sky, a little bit of blue sky above us. How about that? Yeah, they did a good job with this. It's a shame that you know, they didn't get it to sell as much as they wanted it to. It is kind of a shame. Fly somewhere, but it kind of it was a little bit of an obscure one to pick in a market that's oversaturated, and it does get overshadowed by the Comanche. So, but this is a great bird.
United 738 Boston Center, climb and maintain flight level 210.
210, United 738.
November 4726 Tango, contact Burlington approach on 121.1.
Going to 121.1, November 4726 Tango. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Boston Center, Seneca 410, Hotel Alpha, level 1010,000.
November 410 Hotel Alpha, Boston Center, the Lebanon altimeter 2989er.
989er, 0 Hotel Alpha.
Should have made a 172. Would have sold like hotcakes. 152, 172, 182. Oh, the 182 Coronado has a 152, like a good, solid, not
Giant
default.
318,
And I know there's the
Providence
JP Logistics, so I guess that kind of is out too. So yeah, you're right. Probably a 172 would probably have been a good call.
123.67 for Giant 318. Appreciate all your help. Have a good night.
See you later. Reach 69 flight. Descend and maintain 1000. The Burlington altimeter 2988.
1000, reach 69 flight.
2, 3.
You hear there's a little bit of a formation flight going on there. Sun is fully pretty much setted behind the mountains over there. It's gonna start getting dark. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Boozy. I understand what you're saying.
500, 30 miles out.
I'm picking up. We're going to have a little bit more rain to fly through here, chat.
Bravo.
Picking up what you're putting down. I also need to kind of make a turn. I kind of
107 Mike Romeo, Boston Center, the Lebanon altimeter.
see the river right here is what we're going to follow. So let's go ahead and actually
107, Mike Romeo.
follow the river here. I hate that it's doing this mouse glitch. Sometimes it does that. I'm going to turn a little bit harder to join this river here. Kind of overflowed it a little bit, but we want to go down this way now.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Just a heads up, clouds got really bad, about 10 miles ahead of you.
Roger, thank you. This is indeed still VFR, Boozy. I'm clear of the clouds. Again, this is rain. This isn't clouds that I'm in. So I'm clear of clouds, and I can see more than 3 miles. So this is technically VFR. I have flown VFR through rain showers before in real life. It's not ideal, like it's not the perfect VFR, but it is VFR. Now I do see where I might have to do a bit of a VFR descent coming up here in front of us. It looks like it might be going down a little bit. I'll make sure I'm clear though of the Lebanon class Delta before I go any lower. But this is still perfectly VFR. Maybe not perfectly VFR, but legally Still legally VFR. Let me get clear of this Lebanon Delta though, and we will probably have to do a quick VFR descent. And I think if we go down to 1500, we should be clear of any terrain, at least the rest of the route that I have put in front of myself here. Might be a little close. But again, once you're below...
Mike, it only gets pretty foggy around maybe 3 miles, and then it clears back up a lot.
Yeah, it's probably just a rain shower. That's what it looks like at my end, chat. It looks like a rain shower. And again, I can still see.
Air India 2047, just gonna maintain 1000, the Burlington altimeter.
Still not in a cloud, just a little bit of rain. I can still see the river. I can still see more than 3 miles out ahead of me. So I'm good. I'm good. Legally on VFR.
Air India 2047, just gonna maintain 1000.
Little rain never hurt nobody. Again, I'll check my outside air temperature. It's 9. I'll turn the pitot heat on just in case. But even that shouldn't be a factor. But it can't hurt to have it on just in case. I think we'll be able to maintain our 3,500 feet, no problem here. Again, it's not ideal VFR. This is definitely getting into borderline marginal, but we're still there. Definitely on the marginal side now. It's not that cold, Boozy. I'm feeling fine. Let's see. Ambient temperature 9 degrees. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Everybody's fine. It's just me in here anyway. We're good. Don't have to worry about it. Now we might be stretching maybe just a little bit on the VFR. Oh, I don't like this glitch. Oh, there we go. Every once in a while I get that glitch. For a brief second we were... I'm wearing a light jacket. I'll be fine. Brief second we might have been just slightly not VFR, but it was just a brief second, so I think we're fine. That rain just got a little bit heavier there for that 1 second.
Air India 2047, traffic 12 o'clock in 12 miles opposite direction, so Seneca level at 10,000.
I don't see because I have clouds below me, Air India 2047.
Air India 2047, roger. Or 410 Hotel Alpha, traffic 12 o'clock in 11 miles opposite direction to King Air, sending out a 15 for 11,000.
And we're looking for that traffic, Seneca 0 Hotel Alpha.
Boston Center, New England 1033 passing 9,000 for 10,000.
Boston Center, I have the King Air at my 10 o'clock no factor, Seneca 0 Hotel Alpha.
Who's the aircraft checking in?
New England 1033, November Echo Victor.
New England 1033, Boston Center, climbing maintain, flight level 210.
210, New England 1033.
Boston Center, November 985, Quebec, reporting back.
Roger.
Jeffrey, look at that sweet link that I just sent you after you're done with the event.
Wilco.
Air India 2047, so to maintain 900,000.
900,000, Air India 2047.
I look away for 30 seconds on my other screen, and we're back to being quite marginal here. This is where it can get a little intense when you're kind of in a little bit of rain and weather here. Again, still just barely hanging on to VFR, but now that it's getting into nighttime, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kind of maintain visibility on the river. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to kind of break off of what I was planning on doing now to find that reservoir. I think at this point, we're going to go directly to our destination. And we're going to go ahead and switch to nav. And I think we're going to let the GPS kind of take the wheel here now, just for a little margin of safety as we're marginally VFR, and we're going to be good on obstacles now the rest of the way at 3,500 feet. So
November 876 Bravo, the 11 and altimeter 29er 89er. Just want to verify you are maintaining an appropriate VFR altitude. I show you level at 5,000.
I'm sorry about that. Play 76 Bravo going back down to 4,500.
So we should be good now.
Okay,
Just going kind of
that's also not
GPS
appropriate
direct.
VFR altitude for your direction of flight. I advise you maintain 5,500 or 3,000.
I don't see a need yet to really pick up a pop-up IFR. You know, it's been marginal, but I think we've been able to maintain VFR legally.
5,500 for traffic.
And you can see that ahead of us now. It's clearing up.
Reach 69 flight contact Burlington.
Just that little bit of rain that we had to pass through. That's all. A little shower. And now we can just kind of make our way more directly to Worcester here. Let's go ahead and get some more ASMR going. Yeah, you can see that the rain that we kind of flew through is behind us now. So we should be good, I think, the rest of the way down. I like this view right now. We're going to hold that. We love ourselves some airplane noises on this stream, chat. Wonder what that is looking out to my east here. What city would that be? Looking closer to, I mean, way out in the distance I think is Manchester. That might be a little too far out, so there's probably just some random podunk areas out over here. Maybe like Claremont. Potentially, I'm looking at my sectional. Again, looks like we're plenty good on the VFR now, and we'll let the GPS kind of take us direct the rest of the way.
Able 11 Boston Center cleared to the Burlington Airport as filed.
There wouldn't be any other obstacles or airspace that we need to worry about, and all the MSAs are 3,500 feet, which is what we're at. So we'll be good. And we've got 26-ish minutes until we get to Worcester. I think that's a reasonable amount of time. Stick on a wing view here for now.
United 921 Boston, Roger. Maple 11 flight, read back correct.
You know what? We're going to turn the pitot heat back off. We don't need it.
Call for taxi.
Boston American 4496 is 275, climbing 310.
American 4496 Boston, Roger. United 738, still with me?
Most of the Virtuous Safe Flying Club members are airborne. I still see at least a couple more that are still on the ground, but most of them have gotten into the air at Worcester.
47 Whiskey, copy 5,000.
It's like those are going to be some power lines or some wind turbines. I think those are some wind turbines out there, the little red lights on them.
KORH 549, contact Raleigh approach 123.905, yeah. JetBlue 1985, descent at policy correction 11000.
10 Flying Club members in the air right now going to Worcester. Not bad. Not bad for a Wednesday night.
9 or 7.
Always looking for more club members to join us on our flights anytime we do an event. Our next Virtuous Safe Flying Club event, which I will not be able to participate in because I'll be working. Actually, I won't be working. I'll be at my buddy's wedding. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be at my buddy's wedding
1985.
for the next event.
It'll be the RNAV. Sorry, this is a
The
good
Vero
value
Beach
for you.
fly-in,
RNAV Yankee runway 10
Saturday,
starting at Fat Up,
May
sorry, Fat
17th.
Up.
So it's 4 Eastern for that one. Our good buddy Michael Manook, who is November 8033 Fox on Twitch, is going to be leading that one. Again, I won't be there. I'll be at a buddy's wedding.
JetBlue 1985, RNAV Yankee runway 10 from Fat Up, advise if unable.
Alright, what's up, man?
Other aircraft calling on answer, say again.
Yes, Worcester Center, hello, United 41, segment 280.
Yeah, 41 Boston Center, roger. Boston Center, there 5111, climbing 106,000, direct Canuck. There 5111 Boston Center, climbing maintain, flight level 210. 210, 5111. Clipper 573, cross Lawrence at a maintain 6,000, Boston altimeter is 29901.
Cross Lawrence at a maintain 6,000, flip the car, so be
Boston Center, Big 3410, flight level 250.
Aircraft 3410 Boston Center, roger, November 553 Victor, Young's Francie.
A-firm 553 Victor, Whiskey 10,000.
Or 553 Victor, Boston Center, climbing maintain, flight level 400.
Boston Center here, United 41. Can I take my normal speed?
United 41, unable. I've got you creeping up too close on the traffic in front of you there. I gotta keep you.
I left my water bottle somewhere. Oh,
sorry.
man.
I got too many things going on right now.
Give me 1 second. I gotta go get water bottle. Hopefully he doesn't call me for the 30 seconds to step away. Listen up for my call sign chat. I'll be right back. See, that was quick. Kitty Monster is going well. Flew through a couple rain showers, but we've been able to maintain at least marginal VFR most of the way. I think we're going to be pulling a good VFR the rest of the way. Got about 22 minutes to go here to get to Worcester.
Number 585, running Papa Boston Center low. The 11 and altimeter 290.
But the flight's going good. Got some great airplane ASMR this evening. Got about 10 Virtue Safe Flying Club members on the way to Worcester.
United 921, cross Nelly at a maintain 16,000. The Bradley altimeter is 29904. When you transition, maintain 300 knots or greater.
10, count them, 10. Yes, sir. 10 in the air. I think there's still a couple on the ground still at Burlington, too.
United 921,
I know we had a couple guys that said they were going to have to depart a little bit later. This is a
sorry,
very,
you're going to Barnes.
it's a loose,
So I'll tell you what, United 921, quit right to Flossie.
very loose group flight tonight. Everyone's departing Burlington and arriving in Worcester, but how they're getting there,
Just descend and maintain 16,000.
whether they do a VFR or IFR is kind of up to them. So it's kind of like a loose group flight tonight.
Alright, I'm just going to see if there's no...
Everyone's kind of pick your way there.
921.
November 407, Romeo Whiskey. What's your next waypoint? You're just so far off course, it looks like.
407 Romeo Whiskey. I was heading to the ALB VOR.
Hey, I don't have that in your flight plan.
.407 Romeo Whiskey, copy, advise.
Alright, you can just go to Albany and then direct Worcester.
407 Romeo Whiskey, thank you. Direct to Albany.
Clipper 573, contact Boston approach 133.0.
Looks like you got a little off course there.
133.0,
November 985, Quebec, cross Lawrence at a maintain 6,000. The Boston altimeter is 2991.
Cross Lawrence, at a maintain 6,000. 85 Quebec, thank you.
New England 1033, contact Boston Center 133.45.
13345, 1033.
Got this little mountain peak over here, but that shouldn't affect us anyway. We're going straight past it. We'll be on the west side of that. That's a good view right there off of our right wing. A little bit of daylight just kind of hanging out in the distance to the west through the clouds. Nighttime on the ground.
Bravo, cross runway 8.
And Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 does not disappoint. I still have no desire to buy Microsoft Flight Sim 2024.
JetBlue 1985, cross bout up at or above 4,000, and you clear the RNAV Yankee runway 10 approach at Syracuse. I didn't really understand your read back there, but JetBlue 1985, just verify you copy cleared for the approach. JetBlue 1985, cross fat up at or above 4,000.
Bad weather yesterday at JFK was ripe for a JPC control stream. So I was controlling for a little bit last night, Hawk, while you were on the way in. I wasn't streaming. Unfortunately, my stomach decided to hit me like really hard out of nowhere, and then I had to discontinue controlling and spent about half an hour sitting on the old toilet there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Either way, I wasn't planning on streaming, but I was controlling. I saw that you were inbound, I think from like Orlando, and yeah, my stomach just had other ideas, and I wasn't, it's not like I was sick or anything.
The last controller told you to maintain 10,000. Are you just not doing that?
Ooh.
Sorry, I go to get
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just like a
513, climb and maintain, flight level 360.
probably poor choice of food. Let's put it that way. We'll call it that. We'll call it a poor choice in food that particular, last night, and we'll move on from it. I'm good
American
though.
4496, descend and maintain, flight level. Actually, just descend and maintain 1000. Burlington altimeter is 2988.
But yeah, I saw that you're inbound, and it was fun. It was ILS 13 left for a little while, which is ultra rare Kennedy. It did eventually go back to ILS 22 left. But
Search 5191, Boston Center, radar contact.
yeah, no, we unfortunately hit a code brown, and I wasn't able to stay on for all the way until you got in there. And then after I was finished with the code brown, I decided that I was going to spend the rest of the evening with Sarah. So
November.
That's just kind of how it went yesterday.
Was that November 511 Victor? November 511 Victor, Boston Center, hello. The 11 altimeter 2990. Maple 11 flight, stay altitude.
Can't remember.
Maple 11 stay altitude. 2866 years center on.
Oh no, you didn't. Oh.
Maple 11, Roger.
That sucks.
Walk 2532. We'll see you in a bit. 03. It looks like you might have scrambled up the digits there.
Passing that little mountain peak right there, off our left. Sounds like Jeffrey B had a CTD, which is unfortunate. You gonna try and pick up from somewhere close and do a quick little hop?
Boston Center, Bonanza, G36, 423.
Well, I decided to hang out with her after the code brown was all taken care of, Kenny Monster.
8,000 feet.
And I made sure to spray in the bathroom and all that too. I'm a gentleman, alright?
Center, the 11 altimeter 2990, and for direction of flight, November 3 Charlie, limit to maintain 7,000.
Maintain 7,000, 423 Charlie Lima.
Ew. Gross.
November 876 Bravo, contact Bradley approach 123.905.
Approach 123.95, extensive Bravo.
That's going to be our next frequency, 12395. Get that ready to go.
JetBlue 2530, request another flight step.
JetBlue 2513, say again.
JetBlue 2513, request another flight level.
JetBlue 2513, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, JetBlue 2513.
Endeavor 5111, contact Boston Center 133.45.
Got some traffic above us there, but he's not going to be a factory. He's way up there. Got a little traffic over here. He's a little bit faster than us, and he stopped blinking. I hate sometimes. You can see him still kind of... Microsoft Flight Sim is a little bit weird with the traffic, unfortunately, still. That's the one thing the sim has not gotten right, is the general aviation traffic visibility, unfortunately. And the model matching, too, for VATSIM is still pretty weak compared to what it was on X-Plane, but that's a different story.
November 28903 Charlie, contact Burlington approach 121.1.
Forward approach 121.1, we're 28903 Charlie.
I'm going to bet we get the handoff pretty soon to go to Bradley
Boston,
approach.
good day, Alaska,
And he's going to take us into Worcester. He's covering the Worcester Delta at the moment.
Alaska 963 Boston Center, commenting 17,000. Mile watch altimeter is 29er 89er.
29er 89er up to 17,000, Alaska 963.
November 985 Quebec, contact Boston approach 133.0.
Pushing Boston approach 133.0 now Quebec.
November 124 Mike Charlie, contact Raleigh approach 123.905.
2395 for Mike Charlie, get it?
United 41, descend main.
Should be a little bit of a quieter, more docile frequency. That poor controller and center was getting beat up by all the newish pilots that are flying in and out of Burlington tonight. Let's get a ATIS for Worcester, which we're not picking up. Bradley approach, good evening. It's Beechcraft Sierra 124 Mike Charlie VFR 3500. We are not picking up the ATIS at Worcester.
And Beechcraft 4 Mike Charlie, Bradley approach. Worcester altimeter 29904. Visibility 10, few clouds 5,000. Ceiling 6,500 broken. Temperature 20, dew point 11.
For Mike Charlie, thank you. What'd you need, Sarah? Okay. Alright, we are probably... I got so much stuff
Air 549, turn
open on my
right,
computer that I don't do right now.
230
Wind at Worcester is 240 at 6, like he said. That means we're most likely going to get runway 29er. Can expect it runway 29er. And if we're looking at this chart, we're coming from the north. So he's probably going to give us a right downwind for runway 29er. If I had to take a guess, he could potentially give us straight in for runway 15. That is a possibility. But I'm most likely expecting to have the right downwind for runway 29er. We'll keep both of those options in mind. Again, since he doesn't have his ATIS up, I don't know what runway he has active. And he didn't say, he gave me the weather. But, plan for either possibility. How are we looking fuel-wise? It looks like we could switch the tanks. Put the fuel boost pump on. Switch the tank. Give it a minute. And by minute, I mean like 5 seconds. The airplane's good. Switch the tanks. Keep them nice and balanced. Definitely getting into nighttime. You can still see just a little last bit of daylight hanging on out to the west above the clouds there, but this is now nighttime over here in Massachusetts, Connecticut,
7 miles, report field in sight.
New Hampshire, Vermont area. Worcester is obviously Massachusetts, so I could have probably just said Massachusetts. But, you know.
Visual approach, runway 33.
We do have an airport, I think that's Gardner Municipal Airport right out off the nose right there, if I'm reading my sectional correctly, and then beyond that we'll get to Worcester. About 22 miles, 10 minutes, and I'm going to have to make a phone call now after the stream is over. I got one of my company friends is texting me something, so to make a phone call. Wait till after the stream though. I have managed to get decent model matching, but it's not easy, and that's I'm not good enough with the technical side of things to really dive too deeply into that. I'm pretty stars above us. Look at that. Give you some nighttime ASMR. Back into the cockpit we go. Alright, so we've got, like I said, our two plans. We're either going to get a straight in for runway 15, or we'll make a right downwind most likely for runway 29er. If he has us do the left downwind for 29, we'll overfly the field at an appropriate altitude. The airport at Worcester is 1,009 feet. That's going to make the traffic pattern altitude. Is there a note anywhere? Let's see. Traffic pattern altitude. Nope. So just 1,000 above. We'll call it 2,000 feet for the traffic pattern altitude. And we'll park at the Atlantic Aviation. That's the only FBO that's up there.
Approach Cherokee 6 Alpha Papa
off of taxiway Bravo in the north part of the field.
Cherokee.
Pretty easy stuff.
Alpha Papa, Bradley approach. Worcester altimeter 299 or 4.
No, I'm not going to stay in the traffic pattern. I'll be a full stop landing.
Current, although it will be back up in a second.
Probably, yeah, we'll get it in a second and let you know when we have golf.
November 876. Bravo.
Looks like there's now a ground controller on at Worcester.
33.
Right down runway 33 at 76 Bravo.
He's actually he's having him go in the right downwind for runway 33, chat. Interesting.
Here, 549, wind 270 at 8, runway 33, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 33.
Bradley approach, number 145.
Right down runway 33. Okay, so if that's what they are going to do for us, then we will kind of be almost coming from the north here. We'll be pretty much right, joining the right down for runway 33 as well. That's not an issue. So that'll be very straightforward as well.
November 145, Alpha Juliet Bradley approach. Worcester altimeter 299.4, squawk 7765.
Let's go 7765 for 145 Juliet, and we got the altimeter.
Sierra 124 Mike Charlie, we have Worcester in sight.
And November 124 Mike Charlie, your traffic to follow is a Comanche. You're 12 o'clock and about 7 miles. Enter right down runway 33.
Alright, we'll keep an eye out for the traffic right down runway 33. Sierra 124 Mike Charlie.
And 145 Alpha Juliet radar contact. 8 miles north of Worcester Airport, 4,000. You said you're requesting RNAV 33.
Affirm for the R9 33 145 set.
Number 145 Alpha Juliet, fly heading 180, vector's final approach course.
And we're flying 180 vector.
So the airport's right out here. We're flying at an angle. We definitely have a little bit of a crosswind.
Bradley approach Cherokee.
See the airport right out here.
Verify the ATIS at Worcester is 12655.
12655 affirmative. Ground just came up. He's probably recording it as we speak.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. No, we're trying to check a COM2 switch button. We're good.
And 145 just may.
Someone called it Worcester.
Fly heading 180.
180 affirmative. 1 Alpha Juliet.
So again, we got Worcester in sight. Worcester is the correct way to say it, not Worcester. Worcester. And we're looking, I think we're looking, that is runway 33. We're looking right down the belly of runway 33 there. Or is that runway... I'm sorry, I mean runway 15. That is runway 15 that we're looking right at there. So we'll join the right downwind. 33 is the other side. So we'll be able to nice, easy right downwind for the approach here. You can see we're flying at like a little crab. If I pull this up, I bet you we have a pretty good crosswind from the right. Look at that, 19 knots. I knew it. Who could have guessed? All right, we're going to start going VFR descent down to 2,000.
Fresh, good evening. Skylane 3290 Quebec at Bradley. I have our clearance to Burlington, please.
And November 3290 Quebec, Bradley departure. Clearance on request. Stand by.
Get down to the traffic pattern altitude here.
And KORH 549, left when able, steer out to the ramp.
Left when able, KORH 549, roger.
Again, 2,000 feet for the pattern altitude. I'm going to go heading here.
KORH 549, roger.
Get a little bit more onto the north side of the field.
You at 5,000 en route to Worcester.
Number 407 Romeo Whiskey Bradley approach. Gulf is current at...
Oh, if you guys want to start putting landing rate guesses in the chat, now would be a good time to start doing so. Positive or negative number, you do not need exclamation point predict. I know Kenny Monster, if he's listening, is going to do it anyway.
6 Bravo. Wind 2506, runway 33, clear to land.
33, clear to land, 876 Bravo.
We're going to go ahead and take the autopilot off, hand fly the rest of the way. And I knew he was going to do it. He always does exclamation point predict. That's his shtick. But you can just put a positive, negative number in the chat.
And
I got Volanta running. We can see what my landing is going to be tonight.
Clearance available. Advisory to copy.
We're lining up to join the right downwind for runway 33 here at Worcester.
3290 Quebec.
We got the traffic in sight. Doing a base turn up ahead there.
Then is filed. Climb maintain 4,000. Expect. Where to go? Expect.
Iowa Scotsman's got a lot of faith in me tonight to have a smooth landing. I appreciate that.
Frequency squawk 5337.
Skyline 90 Quebec clears to Burlington via radar vector team, then a file.
That crosswind is pushing us, chat. Look, you can see that I'm flying at a crab here.
And 90 Quebec, read back correct advisory taxi.
What's that thing?
Bradley approach Cherokee 6 Papa. We've got golf in the field in sight.
Can't break Twitch protocol. It's your own protocol, but sure. One, 2, 4, Mike Charlie, right downwind runway 33.
November 4 Mike Charlie, wind 2506, runway 33, clear to land.
33, clear to land, 4 Mike Charlie. Start getting some flaps in. We'll start getting the gear down.
Bradley approach Cherokee 6 Papa. We've got golf and we have Worcester in sight.
Roger, 6 Alpha Papa.
76 Bravo, clear 33, right on Delta.
November 876 Bravo, contact Worcester ground 123.85.
Not sure why the runway lights decided to just stop working.
Again, 47 Bravo.
76 Bravo, contact.
And now they're on for the
ground,
other runway, but that's fine.
123.85.
We'll adjust accordingly.
385, Bravo.
Strange. This is a MSFS thing. It's lighting up the other runway now. But when I have a feeling when I make the base turn and get to runway 33, it'll light up that runway again. I think that's just a MSFS thing. So we can start our base.
And November 4 Mike Charlie, contact Worcester Tower 120.5.
20.5. See it. This tower just came online. Worcester Tower, good evening. 124 Mike Charlie, right base for runway 33.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, Worcester Tower, runway 33, clear to land.
33, clear to land, 4 Mike Charlie. Alright, we're clear to land 33.
Number 4 Mike Charlie, wind is 250 at 6.
Thank you. Gear down, flaps full, we're clear to land, we're turning final for runway 33, there it is. Kind of doglegging the final a little bit. Slightly high, but that's going to be a pretty easy correction with this airplane. We got ourselves full staffing at Worcester since all the flying club people are starting to show up now. We love it.
Alpha is 5 miles north of the field with Golf. Press full stop landing.
Turkey 69 Alpha Papa, Worcester
That
Tower.
slight crosswind from the left.
Runway 33.
Right downwind 33, 6 Papa.
Wing down. That was a little firmer than I think minus 43. A little bit on the flat side. I flared a little bit early there, I think. But not terrible. Definitely didn't break the airplane or anything like that, so we're fine. And, this is not an open taxiway anymore, so we got to go down to the next one, which is Delta. Definitely a little bit firmer than 43, I think. Kind of laid that one on a little flat. Kenny Monster's probably going to have the closer guess at 173, I'm betting. And surprised the taxiways are not labeled correctly in the sim. Who could have guessed that?
November 4 Mike Charlie, contact ground 123.85. Have a good night.
2385 for Mike Charlie. Thanks for coming in today. Ground, good evening. November 124 Mike Charlie's clear on Delta. We're taxiing to Atlantic.
Number 124 Mike Charlie, Worcester ground low, taxi parking via Bravo. Have a nice night.
Taxi to the parking via Bravo for 4 Mike Charlie. Good night. Come in here and we'll find ourselves some parking. I don't know this airport. I have no idea where the actual FBO would be. Maybe somewhere out and over here or back in there somewhere. We're gonna park up. We're just gonna park up right here. We're gonna pretend that this is the Atlantic Aviation and call it good. So we can go ahead and turn this to this, to turn this off. Let's see. All good there. Turn this off, this off. Guess I could have set the park brake before doing all that. We'll go ahead and turn the beacon off, nav lights off, and opens the door. And we can hop on out. Beautiful evening in Massachusetts. A little chilly, probably a little brisk, but not bad. We've made it to Worcester for the event. What we see, my landing time was probably 32, so that would be 01 or 00 rather 0032. So let me go ahead and put that in the attendance channel. 0032 Zulu. We're going to look at the landing rate guesses here in just a second, chat. Give me just a second. Alright, let me go ahead and pull that up. Statistics. Yeah, it was a little firm, like I thought. 182. 1.03 G. So the G's were fine. 182. So that would probably make... I'm going to bet Kenny Monsters the winner. It sure is. Congratulations. Alright, that's going to do it for me, chat. I'm going to have to do a quick exit here. I'm going to hand you guys off to someone else, probably Jeffrey B, if he's still streaming, which he is, because I have to make a phone call to one of my fellow coworkers. So thank you for coming in today. I hope you guys enjoyed the flight here in the Beach Sierra. Again, we're going to send you over to Jeffrey B, who hopefully has got his sim under control, and he's going to make another attempt to get into Worcester for the Virtually Safe Flying Club event tonight. We'll see you next time. I don't know when the next stream is going to be, but whenever it is, I will see you then. Have a good night, everybody.
20-year-old car, and look at me like you're fucking hot shit. People. He bought it for $1,500 on car.